Reach our listeners with your brand right here on Taken Too Soon. If you're interested in being a part of the show as a sponsor, email our team at marketing@gainesvilletimes.com to get more information.
The views and opinions expressed by guests on the Taken Too Soon podcast are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or positions of the host or contributors. This podcast deals with mature topics that may not be suitable for all listeners. Material heard on the Taken Too Soon podcast is intended for adult listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
Talking to Elaine's friends, one adage kept getting repeated. They were glad that they didn't grow up in the internet era. The downside? Photos of their time with Elaine in the late 90s are harder to find. The upside? These memories aren't enshrined online forever. But the picture they painted of her was a feisty firecracker, a girl ready to be a woman who took no guff from anybody. But then there was Billy.
We sat down with Michelle Brock, Beth Jones, Jennifer Boyd, and Lindsay Suggs to talk about Elaine's teenage years, how they became friends, and her up and down relationship with Billy Millwood III.
So Michelle, when was your first time meeting Elaine?
In high school is what I remember. I know she was a grade behind me because I graduated in 99, and I believe she was just one grade behind me. And then we just all started kind of hanging out, and we got all really close, and she'd spend the night with us, and she was a little firecracker though. She was definitely a firecracker, for sure.
And what about you, Beth?
I guess mine was 8th grade when she came to East Hall. She had just transferred from South Hall, and we had some classes together. So, and we did the whole spend the night thing, catching the bus and all that. She was definitely a firecracker. She always stood up for herself.
Oh yeah. She tried to fight me one time too. I'll never forget it. You remember that? We was at Applebee's, because she was working at Applebee's, and she thought I was hanging out with Billy. Well, I went back to my car, and she followed me, and I rolled up the window, and she was knocking on my window, trying to get in there and everything. She was going to get me if I'd have rolled down that window. She was really tiny. I just seen her coming right at me, though. But she finally got over it. I told her I ain't hanging out with him. So, but yeah, we have good times. Great memories for sure.
What would y'all do when you hung out after school?
Talk on the phone, make grilled cheese, and
yeah, we didn't really go
jalapenos.
Because till we got older, we didn't have cars.
Yeah. Well, when we lived with Margie and Kathy in Nanny's basement, we'd have to get off school. It would always be me, Michelle, Elaine, and Kathy. Mm-hmm. And so we'd go in and make grilled cheese with jalapeno pepper.
And that's how I still eat them.
And just sit and chill, talk on the phone, do our homework if we had homework. Or if some of us had to go to work at Corey Everson's, we would. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I think we all worked there.
Yeah. Fight over who was going to take a shower first. That was her big thing. Because she took the longest showers.
Now, I've heard about the karaoke parties. Could you tell us more about those?
No, I didn't go to the karaoke. I wasn't at that one. I know you was.
Yeah.
And Brandy Ray, I remember
a
couple of y'all
It
there.
was mostly like Spice Girls and Janet Jackson and...
yeah, Spice Girls. She loved Spice Girls.
Yeah, Spice Girls. It was a lot of Spice Girls. And she would just blurt. I mean, and she really couldn't carry a tune to save her life, but she thought she could. And if you said anything, she would be madder than you know what. She'd be so mad at you, and she'd have this face like just like
that's exactly
you would
how
know.
She looked too.
Yeah, you would know that
Lips.
she was mad at you just by her look, because she was just so frustrated. And she had braces, so you got to think they were like her lips when she did this would bulge out.
Yeah.
And this look she gave you would just be like, but she's still going to sing, and she's going to look at you, like give you this evil eye. Like, I'm so mad at you right now.
But then she has a good time, because I remember seeing the video. She's just dancing and all around. She was having a ball, so.
Becky talked a little bit about driving the Strip. What was that like?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, it was cruise.
Cruising was our thing, too.
Yep.
Jen was a part of the cruising.
Now, I had I didn't have a radio at the time, so we had my son's. This was after, no, this wasn't, this was before Austin was born, sorry. We had the karaoke machine. It was my sister's karaoke, or it was a little bitty that you could put I forget what they were even called. But we'd be hanging out the window singing with it, because I didn't have a radio, so we'd just put a tape in it, and we'd just be out the window, and she'd be so loud, and people would be looking at her. It was so fun, though.
What are y'all looking at?
Yeah, she'd get mad, too. And I'm like, you're singing.
To the top
That's
of your
what they're
lungs.
looking at, Elaine.
Burger King.
Oh, we always went to Burger King.
Sorry, I
I used to
stopped.
call that payphone so he rings.
Yeah.
Come pick me
Yeah.
up.
Yes, because people would call that payphone back, and we would know, and we would pick it
know
up.
that number.
Yeah, we would pick it up.
Who needs a ride?
Yeah. 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 And I remember her and Jennifer would mix their ketchup and mayonnaise together.
Yes.
I was like,
Still do that.
Yeah, you did too.
Mm-mm. They always had to mix it together.
Mm-hmm.
Burger King fries.
Yep. Burger
Yep.
King.
Burger King fries.
Yep. And that was the hangout.
That was a hangout, and then every so often you'd have a cop cruise through there and be like, "Are you eating? Are you hanging? We got our cups."
We had our cups in our hand to prove we'd been eating it sometime.
We
You
didn't
know.
even save old cups.
Yep.
Just leave
Yeah.
them in the car.
Just so we have them.
Have liquor in us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whoever
Sometimes
wasn't driving had the
Whoever
liquor
wasn't
in it.
driving was. Yep. It was the popping spot back in the day. At the cruising
And I do
times.
remember too her when I was pregnant with Austin, I was still cruising. And I remember I got pulled over. I run a red light, and I was crying like a baby, and everybody was laughing at me, and Elaine especially, like she was just cackling in the back, just. And then when the police officer come up, I mean, he just gave me a warning and told me just to be careful, but I was still just bawling my eyeballs out, and then here Elaine and Kathy's just cracking up, dying in the back seat, and I'm like, you know, but that's another good memory too. I remember running a red light and getting a warning with Elaine with me.
While you were cruising, was there anything else that you would do?
Find out what Billy was doing.
Right.
Find out what Billy was doing and what girl he was hanging out with. For real, that's really what we did. Like,
Yeah.
no joke. Like, if he wouldn't page her back or page one of our pagers because she didn't have her pager at the moment, yeah. She was like, we're
be
going to a
wanting to look for
payphone and we're finding Billy because he's up to something no
She
good.
was always trying to look for him because he was always, because, you know, then we didn't have all this social media stuff. So,
So glad we
so me too.
How did Billy and Elaine's relationship start?
In high school. I think it was actually night school where they originally met.
Yeah.
When Johnson had like night school, so they could you could either get ahead, graduate early, or instead of going to day school, you could go to night school.
Did she fall pretty fast for Billy?
Yeah. Like I seen her, no joke, run down the hallway at high school because Billy was at the end of the hall talking to a female, and there was a guy in the middle of the thing, and she, no lie, like slid under his legs to get up and smack this chick. Okay? That's
was
when I say she was
firecracker.
a firecracker.
She was.
She didn't care where she was.
Yeah.
And I mean, she used some very, very colorful words with that smack.
Was she a jealous person, or did Billy just give her a reason to be jealous?
And he
It
wasn't
was
the
a
best
little.
either.
It was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It was a lot. I feel like it was more that she was a little jealous, but he gave her
Yeah.
every reason to be jealous.
Yeah, she was
And
just
the
a
way he
flirt.
treated her, like she had every right to feel the way she did and act the way she acted because of the way he treated her. You know what I'm saying? Like they would break up and then they would be back together. They'd be broke up for about a month and they'd be back together.
Yeah, they was always
This went
back
on
together.
for several. I know up until she passed away.
Yeah.
Like it was on and off for a couple of years. From at least I know our sophomore
Yeah, she
year.
was really hooked on Billy. That's for sure.
What did you think about Billy at the time of their relationship?
I didn't really like him then because I thought he was a jerk.
I didn't then, yeah, but I went to Tadmore with him, so we went to elementary school. So I knew Billy from elementary school. And then when he got up, he just got off with the wrong crowd like most people did. So, you know, he just wasn't on the right track for sure. So.
And he was a jerk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't a bad person, but he was just a jerk once he got
He was
off
just a
into the
smart
wrong
butt
group.
and wanted to, you know, try to be cool in front of his friends and stuff and talk to her like he wanted to. So, being kids, for sure.
My feeling is that Elaine was the type of kid who was really eager to grow up and wanted to go out and start being an adult. Was that the case?
Yeah.
Well, because when
Yeah.
we lived
Yeah.
when we lived with Jennifer's Aunt Margie in the bottom of the basement, Miss Margie made us work. Like, that was one thing that Miss Margie was like, if y'all are going to stay here, y'all have to help too. Like, I can't support all y'all because I'm a single mom. So, like, me and Elaine, we had to get a job, and we had to help pay the car insurance because she did have a car for us. Miss Margie got us a car. We had to share it, and all three of us had to pay car insurance, including her own daughter. Like, she taught us, to me, she taught us, like,
Yep.
yeah, she taught us a lot. And, like, I've seen a lot of change in Elaine when she come to live with us, with Kathy. Like, she wasn't so hateful. Like, because sometimes she could be really hateful to her mom and dad, but they could be really hateful to her.
Yeah.
And that was just
parents.
That was just them being her parent and what
Yeah,
was
they
best for
were.
her. And,
They
you know,
were.
of course, every teenager thought that it was a bad thing, you know, but I did start seeing a lot of change in Elaine when she did live with me and Kathy at her Nana's house.
Yeah.
Margie treated us like young adults, not 16 and 17-year-old kids. She taught us, she treated us like young adults. And she said, if you want to be an adult, then this is the way it has to be. And we changed. And then that's when Elaine pretty much, not long after that, she dropped out and went to night school. But she worked during the day.
What's your favorite memory of your time with Elaine? The one that always seems to pop up and put that smile on your face, remembering her.
Mine is, there was this place in the mall, and I still go there and eat them, but they don't taste the same. The gyro rolls. Me and her, we would go to the mall, and we always got the same gyro, however you say it. But that was one of my memories. And me and her would fuss about who was going to get more of the tzatziki sauce, and she would eat it all, and I would have to go get more. And so that's one of the things that pops in my head with Elaine. And of course, when she lived with me. So she only lived with me for about 3 or 4 weeks. It was right after Christmas. So when I lived at my daddy's house, and a lot of good memories there too, because we used to have a lot of friends over at daddy's.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, we have fun at daddy's, so for sure.
Oh.
So, thank God.
So, my favorite memory would be me and her, and I don't remember if you were there, Jennifer, but me and her and Kathy, we went camping. And my Uncle Bob was like, my Uncle Bob was just like
We
a
all loved
special
Uncle Bob, yeah.
kind of person. And he loved everybody. And he
He had nicknames for
had
everybody.
nicknames for all of us. And
I was Jennifer Boyden.
What was Elaine, though? I don't remember what Elaine was. I didn't have a
Froggy.
name either. She was Froggy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you were Pooh.
Yeah, I was Pooh.
Oh, Pooh. But he was a special kind of person. And we told him, us 3 girls, we wanted to go camping. And he was like, well, I ain't going camping with a bunch of boys. And I'm not going to get to go. He said, because I don't have to whoop nobody, you know. And so we all went down to Mossy Creek, as it's known now, but it's Skid's Mountain. Mm-hmm. And we were, of course, we were underage doing things that we probably shouldn't have been doing. But it was probably, I guess, maybe 11:30, 12 o'clock, midnight. And the moon was just like, boom, so bright. And she wanted to go get in the water. And I was like, you're crazy. But she was only 4'11", and she had been drinking. So I was like, we're going to go get in the water. Come on. And we're trying to get in the water. And she pulls my whole bathing suit bottom down and makes me fall. And then all she can say is, I'm sorry, your butt's really wet. And I don't know why that's
Well, Well, because it's funny, we got to have.
Well, that's one of my favorite memories, but it is. And like the next day, she kept saying, "Beth, where'd I get all these cuts and scratches at?" And I was like, "Well, maybe because you wanted to go, trying to make us go skinny dipping at midnight." She said, "I do remember seeing your butt." I was like, "Thanks, man. That's how you got all the scratches, because you fell and you pulled us down." But yeah, that's one of my best memories. My other crazy memory would be when she, when that girl called her and we was at Nanny's house, and me and Kathy were sitting on the front porch smoking a cigarette, and she comes out here with all his stuff, and I'm talking about all his stuff. Pictures, clothes, all his stuff. And she goes and throws it in the middle of the road and waits on the cars to come by and destroy it. And then Margie's like, "You better get out there, get your you-know-what out there and clean that up. Somebody will get a flat tire." And then while she's out there picking it up, she's like, "I just love him so much." And I said, "Elaine, you just did this. Why?"
Yeah.
I said, "He cheated on you. That girl straight told you he cheated on you. What are you doing?" "But I just love him so much."
But we just wanted the bad boys. I mean, girls wanted bad boys in them. Billy was definitely a bad boy. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why. Do what? That was whatever, Jennifer. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, was what I remember.
What about that night that you couldn't feel your legs and Elaine couldn't get up to go pee?
Yeah, that's right. We was drinking wine coolers.
Wine coolers.
My stepmom or whatever, my daddy's girlfriend gave them to us. And I poured it all over me, and Elaine poured hers all over me.
Yeah.
So, because I had red everywhere.
Michelle, she says,
"Can't feel my legs."
"I can't feel my legs." And Elaine stood up.
Elaine goes, "I can."
Yeah, she said, "I can feel it." She said, "But I can't move to go pee." And I was like, "But you can touch her legs, but you can't move to go pee. Go pee."
What do you do to keep Elaine's memory alive in your daily lives?
Her and Beth were always frog lovers. Well, when she passed, I became a frog lover, and now I got frogs everywhere. So that's probably one of my, I just think the frogs that's what really, and then the frogs really keep me thinking about her. Anytime I see any out or whatever, I'm like, "Oh, there's Elaine," butterflies, whatever. So that, and doing this every year, doing the memorial. So that's how we just don't want her to think that, we don't love her, and we don't want her to think, I wouldn't want nobody to give up on me.
She wouldn't give up on any of us.
Yeah, so.
We've seen the frogs at Becky's house. Is it to the same extent for you?
Oh yeah, I got frogs everywhere, and so does she.
I have so many frogs.
Yeah, my husband was going to actually let me do a whole room in frogs one day, and I finally got rid of some because I just can't keep them all.
I can't get rid of any frog that, especially if someone gives it to me and it's a unique frog, I have to keep it. And I'm the reason she liked frogs like she did. One year, I guess I was probably 14, maybe 15, and my dad bought me this really cool frog candle and this bathrobe. And Elaine spent the night, and she was like, "Oh my God, where did you get this robe at?" And I was like, "My dad got it for me." And I don't know why he got the frogs, but then it was like after that, everything I got was frogs, and I just got to where I collected frogs. Anytime I got a shirt that was airbrushed, it had a frog on it. I actually have a frog tattoo. I actually have two. But it just become a thing, and to this day I still collect frogs. Just whatever. But she just loved it. Every time she come over, she would always want to wear my robe, and so yeah. And after that, it was Frog City. But actually, frog does mean something. So
fully rely on God.
Fully rely on God, or faithfully rely on God.
So, yeah, I think that's really one of the main things with Elaine is the frogs. So,
Like our shirts. Matter of fact, I think this one
yeah, mine has
has it. It's the Peace Angel frog on it.
Yeah, because this shirt's probably about 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've had this one a while.
These shirts will have frogs on them.
The same one, too.
Us four will have a little something special on us.
Yeah, like now to me, that's why like the angel peace frog is. To me, for the last 25 years, that's kind of represented her. And
Yeah.
whether it be
agree.
on her memorial page or whatever, as far as if I see it, that's something that automatically registers to me as Elaine. No, especially just a peace frog in general. But the angel peace frog it represents to me her. And that she's with us every day.
What do you feel that you've missed out on without her being here?
You know, our kids will be 25 this year because they were born the same year she passed. So, you know, and Elaine always wanted kids too. She talked about that. And that's probably one thing that I think about is if she had kids or if she was married or, you know, if she could be there for my kids like all of them have been because they've been at all the birthday parties. Elaine would have been right there with them, you know. So I think that was probably one thing I think wish I could have got. I wish my kids would have got to know her.
Yeah, like, especially her oldest and mine. Just because we were pregnant. She knew we were pregnant.
That's the last time I seen her was at my baby shower 2 weeks before she passed. So, yeah.
Like, so she knew, you know, she was the only person that said I was going to have a girl. And I was like, no, I want a boy. But she's like, you're going to have a girl. And I was like, don't say that. And I had a girl. The only child I have a girl. And it was just weird. And it's just like, what kind of woman would she be? You know, like, what kind of mother would she be? Would her kids be as close as our kids are with our kids? Like, would they all, you know what I'm saying? Like, where would she be? Like, she's got nieces and nephews that she's never met. That they'll never know the type of person she was.
And then one of them looks just like her too. So that's Carly. I think Carly looks just like her. Especially when she had brown hair. When Elaine had brown hair like Carly.
Have y'all been out to the memorial every year?
I've never missed a...
I missed 1 year, but I was on the phone.
Yes, she was. She was on the phone. We had her on speaker.
I was on speaker. That was for FaceTime. But I had went to go see my aunt. We met in the middle. She's from Louisiana. So me, her, and my mom and my sister met in Alabama. And they still called me. I was on speakerphone, so I got to hear it all. That's the only one I missed. And then when my son started playing football, I would go, and then I'd have to rush to his football games on Friday nights because sometimes, you know, every so many years it would be on Friday.
I was doing something with twirling.
Yeah, so.
How would you describe the memorial to someone who's never been?
I would say it's a really good get-together for all of us, family, friends, people. I think we just all feel, and I really think Becky and David, they just really love us being there because right after that happened, like we would go to her house because she always told us, please don't forget about me. Please don't forget about me. I'll never forget that, you know. She always said, please just don't forget about me. And we did it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
We would go over there for a while, I remember, for the first couple of years. But.
And when she decided to clean out Elaine's room, we went
we
over
got
there to
stuff.
help her do that. She gave us stuff.
Like I got one of her robes. I got perfume. I got all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
I actually was going to wear my ring tonight, but I was afraid because it's just this plastic, weird-looking ring that she used to wear all the time, and I just loved it. I just thought it was, but it's just old. It is over 25 years old, so I was scared that it might break. So I didn't want to wear it, so I just kept it in my jewelry box. But I did look at it. I did open my jewelry box and look at it because I thought about wearing it tonight. But the memorial thing for me is real important. Like, my daughter, she's been doing it since she was 3. And now my granddaughter is coming to them. So I feel like it's like our kids get to experience so many things in life that she didn't get to. And then now here our kids have outlived her.
And we get to tell them
about her.
about her.
Oh yeah, they all know about them. Between Lacey and
safety that they
Austin and
need to
Alex, my
take.
kids, they know. Brianna. I mean, we try to talk. I mean, and we got pictures in our house. I mean, you know, we got the one with the, I don't know where Jennifer's is, but
It's
the
in my
one,
karaoke.
the
My bedroom.
the one that where her face is in the sky.
Oh yeah, that's part of my
So-
tattoo.
Yeah. So I got them at my house. I got one in my office at work. So you know, she's with me all the time. In my car, I got one of
Yeah, I
her
was
old
gonna
frogs.
say, well, I got her one of her frogs, but I also have the tags. One of the tags that we release on our
yeah.
balloons every year. I always keep an extra one in my car just so it's there every day. And I actually have one on my desk at my job that everybody can see when they walk by. I keep it out front where everybody can see. There's a
Yeah, you've had that there.
her unsolved murder sticker that we have with the peace frog angel on it on my lot, so everybody knows. Like everybody knows, come September, this is what we do.
Yeah.
It's all about her.
When you cleaned out Elaine's room, what was that like?
It was happy and sad at the same time, I
To
guess.
be honest, we were fighting over stuff to get it.
Yeah, we was fighting too. We wanted this and that, and but I do got a good bit of stuff. So, and I have it in a box. So you can't keep things forever, but I have kept that for 20 years, however long it was, however long it took us to get it all.
And when the dust settled, what did everybody come away with?
I got a comforter. I got a bottle of Nautica Girl, the Nautica Girl. I forget what it was called. It's got just a tiny. It ain't dried up neither. It's just a little bitty bit in the bottom of it. And then I got a house coat, I remember. And then she was so tiny. I mean, none of us wear clothes anyway. But yeah, I did. I did wear one in my senior pictures. I wore one of her Tommy Hilfiger shirts. I remember that. It was a
I got a
blue
couple
one.
pictures. She's got my clothes on.
Yeah. Oh, her? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's about, I don't remember anything else. Do you remember what you got?
I got some of her statues.
Well,
I do got
there
a
was
pair of
this
tennis
lamp
shoes, too.
that she,
Tommy Hilfiger
for her to
Yeah.
love frogs.
Yeah.
Okay, for her to love frogs, her grandmother gave her this turtle touch stained glass light. And it was always in her room. It was like our little night light. Like if we had to go potty, she'd hit it so we wouldn't stump her toe or nothing. And so I got that. I remember I have that. I have it actually packed up. That's like one of my favorite things that I have of hers, other than my little plastic ring. That the turtle lamp would be my favorite, because I remember us having to hit it, or sometimes if you weren't paying attention and you pulled, or you were laying down on the bottom part of the day bed and you hit it like this, it would fall off.
I just don't, do we have a lot of pictures of us with her? I didn't think
No, because
so.
they took
Back
them.
then, it was like,
They took.
Because
They
y'all
took
know, me and Jennifer were like pictures all the freaking time. You know what I mean?
But they
So-
took that one photo album that she had, and she had all the pictures from all of us at Kathy's that we had made that photo album.
Okay, that's right.
And the cops took it, and we never got it back.
That's why I got the copies. Like I
Yeah.
have one frame. I think you've seen it in
yeah.
my room, and you said you wanted a copy, and it's got like 4 pictures in it, and they just made us copies, and it's got 4 different pictures of Elaine, and one of them's the one where she's doing like
Yeah.
that.
I love that picture.
So, but yeah,
Because she just dyed her hair. Kathy had just did her hair.
oh yeah,
think.
blondes. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Blondes don't have more fun.
Lindsay's, she's been the same. She's always, she ain't never put nothing in her hair. Her hair won't fall out like ours. So.
We'll be right back to the show after this break.
Can't get enough of Taken Too Soon? Check out bonus content exclusive to Times subscribers at GainesvilleTimes.com/TakenTooSoon. See photos, read old articles, review documents, and watch videos from our interviews. Subscribe today to dive deeper into this cold case mystery. Find the bonus content link in the show notes.
The Gainesville Times is on TikTok.
That's right, we're on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. Find us at Gainesville Times or G Times News to get the latest about what's going on in Hall County. And now back to the show.
Jennifer Boyd came into our studio before we met up at her house to talk about the case and her role as a spokesperson. The majority of the interview will be included in the next episode. Here's what she said about her friendship with Elaine.
So, Jennifer, how did you meet Elaine?
We met in school, so in middle school.
What was your first impression of her?
Small little girl, very sweet, very quiet, like very kind. So,
What memories come back to you when you think of Elaine?
cruising around town, hanging out in my grandmother's basement, talking on the phone all hours of the night, dancing, being goofy, we'd go to Hurricane Shoals sometimes and all that. So,
What would y'all talk about on those late night phone calls?
just, boys and school and how much we didn't like school and and people we didn't like or something like that, or gossip, just mainly gossip.
Gotcha. Great.
And how did your friendship grow over the time that you knew each other? First off, how long were you friends?
From middle school up until she was murdered.
Okay. And so that gave you a good time to get to know her.
Oh, yeah.
And, so what qualities about Elaine did you enjoy most about her and kind of why?
She was very kind-hearted. She loved helping people. She would go out of her way to do anything for you. She was funny. She liked to crack jokes and stuff like that. And she also was very feisty too. So if you needed someone on your side, she was there for you. So.
And when was the first time that you met Elaine's family, and kind of what was that experience like?
It was about the same time in middle school, because we would go over each other's houses and stuff and things like that and hang out.
And so did the family kind of accept you straight away, or did it take some cozying up?
No, they accepted me right away. So.
And based on your friendship with Elaine, how important was her family to her?
They were very important to her. I mean, of course, as a teenager, you're going to bump heads with your parents, but her parents were very important to her, and her brother, of course, they were super close. So.
And then what about her friends? How important were her friends in her life in the time that you knew her?
Her friends were very important. There was about a group of, I'd say about 5 or 6 of us that all were like one clique. So we were always together. And so.
What would you do as that group of friends?
We would spend the night with each other, have sleepovers. Of course, that was back in the cruising days, so we'd all pile in the car and cruise around. And
so where would y'all go cruising?
We'd go cruising in Gainesville. We would start usually like at the Burger King, go down in front of the mall, and then we'd turn and go in front of what used to be the Planet Fitness, but they just moved it, and there was a gas station on the right. So you could make a turnaround in there and then just kind of make a loop. And then we'd also park in like Big Lots parking lot, the old Blue Ridge parking lot, Burger King parking lot. And that was back before social media, so that's how you really got to know people from other schools and things like that.
What was growing up back then? How was that different from what it's like being a kid now, or what you see from the generation now? If
we had technology that we have now, some of the things that we did, I would not want to be captured. So.
And talking on the phone, you happen to use the landline.
Yes. Yep.
Did you have a pager as well?
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all had our pagers, and we had our certain code when we paged somebody from the payphone, so they'd know it was us. And so.
Do you remember your code?
It was 15.
Yeah. Why 15? Was there significance? Or?
Not really. Like just something I chose back then. I was like, it kind of just stuck. So.
Right. Did Elaine ever talk to you about any of her problems? And if so, kind of what kind of worried her? What were her problems?
She definitely talked about boy problems, and talked about how much school, because she did end up dropping out of school, and school was kind of hard for her. And she also would, of course, talk about problems with her parents and things like that. So we all kind of leaned on each other.
You mentioned, dancing and listening to music. What did y'all listen to?
Oh, back then she loved the Spice Girls. But, I mean, you had Britney Spears. I mean, I think that was when Britney was, I'm trying to think of, yeah. I mean, there were all kinds of music. We listened to all kinds of genres, like country, rock and roll, hip-hop, R&B, like whatever was Tupac, we listened to a lot, Notorious B.I.G., like things like that. So whatever was popular at the time. So
On a given week, how often would y'all hang out?
I would say with school, it was 5 days a week. We saw each other. And then the weekends, we would go cruising and stuff. So, but then there were times that she would spend time with her boyfriends or whoever she was dating at the time. So,
Was she popular with the boys?
I would say she was a beautiful, beautiful young lady. And yeah, she had several boys that were coming after her and trying to pursue her. So,
And were you trying to keep them away, or were you just being a supportive friend? Or
just being a supportive friend and trying to give advice and things like that. But sometimes the advice doesn't work, so you just got to take it as it is. So.
Hey, true crime junkies of North Georgia, are you aware of what's going on around you? Find out by signing up for our free newsletters from the Times. You'll get local news in your inbox daily, including at least one free article a day about what's happening in Hall County. Sign up for free at the newsletter link in the show notes or at GainesvilleTimes.com/newsletters. And now back to the show.
So, Lindsay, what was your first memory with Elaine?
My first memory is I met her in 9th grade. We had PE together. And she was very short, and one of the first things we had to do was volleyball. And so we would show up, and we just got a new gym at the school, and Coach Bynum, he'd take roll call, and then me and her would go hide in the locker rooms because she didn't want to embarrass herself because she could barely even reach the net.
Yeah.
And so, but she did do it one day, and she ended up hitting Crystal Etter in the face and broke her glasses. Oh, I remember that because they were gonna fight. And Elaine, I remember taking her to the locker room, and I had to put her in the stall and hold the door shut because Crystal said something smart to her. And I mean, it was an accident, but Elaine, you ain't gonna say nothing to her. Yeah. So we spent most of our time in PE hiding because we didn't want to participate. Yeah.
She was shorter than 5 feet, but nobody's gonna scare her.
Yeah, no. And she'd always say too. So. Yeah, and she would always say too when she wanted to fight somebody.
She was like 6'10".
Yeah, she'd say, you tell him Elaine might be little, but she can fight.
But you know what?
That's what she'd tell me.
Dynamite comes in small packages. That's what my mom has always said. Mm-hmm. God rest her soul.
Mm-hmm.
So, how does a 4'11" Elaine fare in PE playing volleyball?
Not well, like I said, and so and there were some boys in there too. Curtis was one of them. And so she didn't want to embarrass herself. That was the main thing. She was like, I don't want them to think that I can't do it. And so, yeah, she just didn't want nothing to do with it. And so I was like her partner in crime. I was like, okay, I'll skip with you. I don't care. Let's go, And
she was a go-getter.
Yeah,
so.
and we'd sneak out the back and go smoke cigarettes.
But we had so much fun together, all of us. Especially when she lived in my nanny's basement. My Aunt Margie lived down there, my cousin Kathy, and then Beth, and like it was just amazing to hang out there. And then we would hang out on the porch. That really, it was like outside of the garage.
No, she couldn't go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, she didn't get to go.
And we would have so many conversations, like
She's
just, I mean, young kids in the 90s.
Remember him?
And I know these kids nowadays don't know anything about that. We didn't have technology, like, I'm so glad for that.
That's how we text back in the day. We beat people and put codes in, and you'd have to figure out what numbers corresponded with the letters. And
What was your code?
mine, 57 for LS, and then if you flip it upside down, it still says LS.
Oh, dang.
That was unique, wasn't
It
it?
was you. I was
Surprised I
15.
remembered that.
What was your code?
I was 007.
Everybody had a code.
Yeah, so you knew who it was. So if you was at somebody else's house and you put in a number they didn't know, and you put 57 on the end, they'd know that was me.
That was Lindsay.
Was Elaine popular with the boys?
I think so, but when I met her, I was in 9th grade. She was in 10th grade, and it was all about Billy. I mean, it was. But she did all the. It was like Billy and Curtis and Jeremiah and.
She had a lot of boys that were coming after her.
Yeah.
But she, for some
she
reason,
was hung up on Billy. Billy hung the moon.
had her sights on Billy.
And David is being the tough older brother saying, "Get away from my sister."
Yeah. Yeah. He definitely tried to protect her, and he did the best that he could. But as a young teenager, he can't control everything she does.
What are the fond memories you have about just hanging out after school?
Goodness.
Well, kind of piggybacking off of what you were talking about, David. One of my memories is her 17th birthday. I was going to spend the night party at her house, and it was supposed to be at David and Marina's house.
Yeah.
And my grandfather was taking me over there to drop me off, and as soon as I pulled up, they were all coming out of the house, and I was like, "What's going on?" She's like, "No, we have to go have the party at my mom's house," because apparently Elaine had got calling Billy before we got there and was trying to sneak them over. And they was trying to sneak boys in to David and Marina's house, and David just flipped out, and he wasn't having it, and he kicked us all out. And I was like, I just got out the car. Like, I don't know what happened. So I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. But.
Were you around for the karaoke party?
No, we didn't karaoke. Well, I take that back. On the way home, Big David come and picked us up from Little David's house, and she had a bunch of balloons, and it was a frog theme, and she blew them up. So we were in the car, and we were sucking the helium out and singing songs on the way from David's to Becky and David's. So yeah, so she was singing then too. So. And also at that same party,
Forgot about that.
she. You know, we all snuck and smoked cigarettes then, and Becky and David, oh, no, we're not going to have it. Y'all ain't old enough. So she told Becky and David, well, her parents let her smoke, and they know, and it's fine. So that she could come outside with me to smoke cigarettes too. And Becky, and they'd make me go all the way to the end of the yard, and we'd be out there with a blanket around us, and they'd say, don't throw your butts in our yard, and don't throw them away in the house, throw them in the neighbor's yard or in the ditch, you know, because they didn't want the cigarette butts out there. But she'd go out there, and she'd smoke too, and she'd be like, oh, God, here they come. Here come my parents. Hold my cigarette. And I'm like, well, what do I got 2 cigarettes for? They're going to know. I mean,
Yeah, I'm double smoking.
Yeah, and at one point we was standing on the porch, and Becky crept up behind us, and Elaine turned around, and smoke was coming out of her mouth. She's like, oh, Lindsay, you threw smoke in my face. And she like dropped her cigarette, and Becky was looking like, I'm not dumb. I see y'all out here. So that her 17th birthday, that was really memorable. And I remember not long after she started driving, it was a little blue car. I don't remember, but she wasn't supposed to have nobody riding with her, and she'd take us cruising. And I remember it was me and one of my cousins, and every 2 minutes she'd be like, that's my mom and dad, duck down, duck down, duck down. and so we'd spend like the whole entire time cruising just basically leaning in the floor because she was scared Becky or David was going to see us. And I just, every time I think about it, it just tickles me to death. And every time I'm getting something out of the floor, or, I do that to my kids sometimes too. I remember my oldest daughter, she didn't want to go to pre-K one day, pre-K. I remember, I said, you better duck down, there's your teacher. And it just made me think about it. Yeah, I was like, you skipping school, they gonna get you. So.
I love that you tell that story, though, because Becky told us about how she wasn't supposed to have people in the car, and then she drove past with people in the car.
I remember every fight, duck, and she'd be, nope, that wasn't them. Nope, that wasn't them.
But Becky called them.
Yeah, and she'd
say,
yeah, and she'd say, yeah, we can't smoke in here. And then she'd say, okay, we can smoke, but hang all the way out the window. And so we'd be hanging out in the window with our cigarettes. But duck. And I'm like, just drop me off at Burger King. I ain't riding with you no more.
Yeah. Call Jennifer.
Yeah, call Jennifer, come get us. Tell her to come get us. And she would,
We had a great time together. We have many, many memories of us, just being silly.
What was it like growing up in the phone booth and pager age?
You know what? Nothing is captured on camera. So what we did, people don't know.
We say that, but then I often think if we had social media.
But we didn't.
Would we know more now about Elaine, though? Could we have?
That could be true.
See, that gives me chills.
That is true.
I really wish she would be here now. And this is 25 years later. 25 years that she has missed out on building her career, building her life, and having children. Because that was her goal.
That's in general, just having a life.
Yeah. And for us to not have any answers, at all. Her autopsy says undetermined homicide. 97 pages from Hall County that we got, nothing. 2 pages from Gwinnett County, nothing. It just feels like nobody cares. And her case is just sitting up on a shelf collecting dust. I mean, I've watched so many mysteries and cold cases, and it's been
that's how we know it can happen.
40, 50, 60 years, and they find out. So we need to find out what happened to Elaine, who did it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really wish David could at least.
Her dad.
What is the preparation like for the memorial?
I'm going to be 100% honest. The day before, I'm always nervous. I know I have to talk, speak. I'm the spokesperson for the family, so.
But you're also like
these
the media
girls
recruiter.
are always here to support me. And they tell me I'm doing great, I'm doing wonderful.
She's never not done a good job.
But I do the whole speech. I pray.
What's the memorial like for you, Lindsay?
It's hard. It's bittersweet because at one point it's like I'm actually just happy we're all together to see each other, and it's kind of hard not to celebrate that. But then it's like the what ifs, and we're always going into it like, okay, this is going to be the year, I can feel it, this is going to be the year that, this balloon's going to reach somebody and they're going to know
And you
something.
actually had a balloon that went in your yard.
Yeah, that was special that one year though, that one year.
That was a long
It was
time
like
ago.
maybe a day
You
or
still living at
two.
home.
Yeah, it was at my mama's
days.
house, and
Yeah.
a day or two after her memorial, I was just sitting there out on the porch with my mom, and she's like, what's that up there by the mailbox? And I was like, oh, it's a balloon. I was like, I'll go get it for Nicole, my niece, and I went there, and I was like, what's on it? And it was her tag, and I was like, so I'm getting chills now talking about it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, and I still this day have it. It's faded. The tag is faded. The water,
You do still have it?
yeah, it had got wet and all. You can't even hardly see it, but I know what it is, and
Yeah.
I've kept it. So that's always a special memory for me.
What kind of messages do y'all write on the balloons?
Just, we love you, we miss you, gone but not forgotten, never given up. You know, we've listed websites on there, private investigator information, you know, just.
Always her picture on there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then always it says unsolved murder at the top. So, but it's kind of cool to. You got it, and then somebody close to Nashville got it and shared it.
What is your hope for this investigation?
Justice?
Yeah.
Justice. I want people to be aware that her case is not solved. It's been 25 long years, and we know nothing. So we want justice for her and peace for her family and us. And I know if we die in whatever circumstances it is, we go to heaven or whatever people believe in, we're not going to know.
No.
But
I just want her family to.
yeah.
I want her
Peace.
daddy.
That's my main-
Her daddy.
Right
Her
now,
daddy's
this
really
is the
sick.
sickest.
Yeah.
And her daddy needs to know.
Yeah.
She was a daddy's girl, and her daddy needs to know what happened to his baby.
Yeah.
I mean, not only just her mom, but her daddy does too.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
we
really
we all need to
The
know.
whole
Brother,
family.
Yeah, I mean, we all want to know. but
We've been fighting so hard for 25 years. And it is so sad and so hurting that we can't find out anything when I am a big, like,
if you ever need any
watch
investigation,
stories in investigation, like, and I know they can solve this.
Yeah.
We just need the right people on the case, and
Somebody knows something,
yeah, somebody knows
you
something.
can't go 25 years without speaking.
slipping out and saying something.
Also, I want people to remember that at the end of the day, her name was Jacqueline Elaine Nix, and she was somebody's daughter,
Yeah.
and she was somebody's sister, she was somebody's aunt,
Friend.
and she didn't deserve any of this. And I mean, she's been dead longer than she lived.
Yeah.
Like, she deserves somebody to tell. For once, do what's right for, not just for yourself and for your own sanity. Do what's right for her and for what you took from her family.
Yeah.
Especially her mom and her dad and her brothers and her nieces and nephews. And yes, us, because we've done this for 25 years.
Yeah.
Because she was important to us.
She never got to meet her two nieces and nephew. But they know all about her. Like, so justice needs to be served for Jacqueline Elaine Nix.
Do you have any information you'd like us to look at regarding Elaine's case?
If so, please email tips to Greg Finan at Gainesville Times. That's GregFinan at GainesvilleTimes.com.
Check out bonus content exclusive to Times subscribers at GainesvilleTimes.com/taken-too-soon. See photos, read old articles, review documents, and watch videos from our interviews. Subscribe today to dive deeper into this cold case mystery. Find the bonus content link in the show notes.
The music in this podcast was by Ben Ingram.
Tune in next week as we talk with the investigator who worked the case before Elaine's body was discovered. Thanks for listening. This has been Taken Too Soon, the Elaine Nix story.